Player ratings then: Everton 3, Sheffield a Wednesday 0 at Goodison Park. A fantastic FA Cup 4th round victory for Carlo Ancelotti's Everton as we guide ourselves into the 5th round. We'll see who we play tomorrow when Wycombe face Tottenham. But as for tonight's performance, you cannot ask for much more from Carlo Ancelotti's side. A very dominant, professional, quality performance by Everton, which saw James Rodriguez absolutely having a field day for pretty much the entire 90 minutes, and only pretty much because he come off with 5 minutes to go. He was exceptional today. Goals from Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison and Yerry Mina have saw Everton guide ourselves into the next round. So let's get into the player ratings then. Robin Olsen, I've given him an 8 today. Look, he didn't have an awful lot to do. Of course, Sheffield Wednesday didn't create an awful lot of opportunities, but there was a couple of things and a couple of saves that he had to make in that first half. Certainly when it was 0-0 and it was still quite a competitive game. I said in the instant match reaction, Sheffield Wednesday didn't bow down and allow Everton to turn up and absolutely blather them. Certainly not in that first half. They kept it competitive. They were coming forward. They were trying to create chances. And they had a couple of shots from distance that could have troubled Robin Olsen, but he done very, very well to just make solid saves and make sure that nothing really, affected him. It was a very solid performance by him. Like I said, nothing silly, no mistakes, no stupid errors, just doing what he needed to do and doing his job. So I've given him an 8 today. Ben Godfrey's getting an 8 as well. Very solid on the left-hand side of the defence. Again, obviously starting at left-back today, which was, I think we all could have guessed that, given Carlo Ancelotti had confirmed Luca Dean and Niles Nkunku were out of this one. And again, another very, very solid defensive performance by Ben Godfrey at left back. I feel like it's, we know what we're going to get from Ben now. Even when he's playing left back, be it centre back, be it right back, you're always going to get a very solid performance. There was a couple of times when he had runs on the defender and he was just belting it down that left hand side. There was one where he ran faster than the ball and ended up running past the ball. But he was very, very solid again. Defensively, done exactly what he needed to do. Wasn't really troubled. Again, like I said, as soon as we got that first goal, and, James started to really get into his own and be spraying balls left, right and centre, Sheffield Wednesday didn't really have an awful lot to come at us. But Ben Godfrey done exactly what he needed to do, so he's getting an 8. Yerry Mina's getting a 9 again. Nothing to fault him defensive-wise. Absolutely exceptional once again. Everything that come into him, he dealt with, be it on the floor, be it in the air again. His passing from out the back was good as well. There were a couple of times when Robin Olsen played it short and the defence had to sort themselves out. Certainly early on in the game when Sheffield Wednesday were coming at us with a little bit of energy to try and nick a goal. And, Yerry Mina just sorted his feet out very, very well. He got it out. He used the ball well. Couple of times he bulldozed his way into midfield as well when there was no clear pass on, instead of just giving it away. And of course he scored the 3rd goal, a bullet header made in Colombia. James Rodriguez swings the ball in and the sexy South American Toffees make it 3-0 with a brilliant header from Yerry Mina. Absolutely fantastic finish, and Yerry gets a 9 today. He was very, very, very solid. Onto his centre-back partner then, Mason Holgate. He's getting an 8 again. Another solid performance from Mason, obviously playing in his natural position, but I think it's fair to say an unusual position for Mason, because obviously the majority of the time that we've seen him, certainly in recent weeks, he's been playing at right back. Seamus Coleman played at right back today. Michael Keane come out, I think, probably just to give him a rest ahead of a big game on Wednesday. Mason Holgate was asked to fit back in at centre back, and for me, it was always going to be a 50-50 with Mason. Was he going to be able to slot in and look as comfortable as he is at right back, or was he going to, maybe struggle to adjust to his natural position? But he wasn't. He was just fantastic. He slotted in fine. Again, anything that comes to him, he dealt with really well. He got the ball out on a number of occasions. Didn't have a lot to deal with defensively, but what he had to do, he done well. He come forward, like I said, he used his feet well. And he was just solid and commanding. So Mason is getting an 8. Seamus Coleman on the right hand side, he's getting an 8 as well. Quite impressed with Seamus today, to be fair. I've been critical of Seamus Coleman recently in terms of his forward play and not really breaking past that last man and getting into the areas to cross and to, maybe have a couple of opportunities. But he did today. He broke past that last man. He got in a couple of decent areas. He put a couple of really good balls in. One fantastic ball in that was very nearly met by Richarlison, I think it was. He put the ball in for Richarlison's header, which hit the bar. And he even had a shot as well, which granted went about 45 miles wide over the bar. hard, but it was with his left foot, so we'll let him away with it. Again, defensively as well, nothing, he struggled to do. He didn't have any issues whatsoever. Very solid, very compact, and it was just a very professional performance by Seamus today, so he is getting an 8. Abdoulaye Doucouré in the midfield, he's getting a 7.5 again. Solid performance by Doucouré, didn't do anything special, wasn't unbelievable, but again, very solid, commanded the midfield, done the dirty work for Hammers when Hammers was trying to create those chances and spray balls left, right and centre. Doucouré was doing the running round and just making sure he done the sweeping up if ever the ball was lost, and again, like I said, very, very solid performance by Abdoulaye Doucouré today. Didn't do anything wrong. Gave the ball away on a couple of occasions, but nothing that put us into any real danger. And he was just solid today, so he's getting a 7.5. James Rodriguez, then, he's getting a 10. He's getting an absolute 10. And not just because of the 2 assists, not just because of the balls into the box for, Richarlison's and Yerry Mina's goal, which were absolutely exquisite corners. By the way, James Rodriguez should be taking our corners every single day of the week. I don't care who else is on the pitch, James Rodriguez takes corners. He's just unbelievable. He could find a needle in a haystack, that fella. He's absolutely fantastic. But not just that, he must have created about 45 chances today. He created about 3 for Richarlison, put Richarlison in on goal in the first half. Richarlison scored, but it was just offside. Put him in just before he went off as well. Again, he was offside. He took the shot and he missed it, but I feel like if he'd been onside, he'd have been a little bit more composed. Another chance for Richarlison just before it, where this keeper made a really, really good save. Again, created by James Rodriguez. He created one for Andre Gomez, where Gomez just couldn't sort his feet out. Gylfi Sigurdsson had chances created for him. Dom had many a chance created for him, as well as Abdoulaye Doucouré. He was just creating for everybody today, James. Every bit of positive play we made came from James Rodriguez. He was involved in absolutely anything, and that's what you want to see from him. You want to see him dictating games of football. You want to look at him and go, there's nobody on this pitch that is near your level creatively. You're just absolutely outstanding. And again, he didn't have an awful lot of movement to do. I actually thought he moved an awful lot more than he usually does in terms of getting back. He put a couple of tackles in defensively as well and brought the ball out. He found himself at the right back position on a couple of occasions. He won a header and kept the ball in towards the back, towards our end of the goal as well, towards Robin Olsen's end of the goal. And he was just exceptional all day. Like I said, he seemed to move a lot more than he usually does. He was everywhere. But not just was he everywhere running around like a headless chicken, he was creating everywhere he was on the pitch. Every ball was played through him, and that's exactly how it should be. That's how it should be in the Premier League as well, week in, week out. Every time we get the ball, it should be played exactly to James Rodriguez, because it's going on someone's head or it's going on someone's feet, and he's creating a chance. He was just absolutely exceptional today. Head and shoulders, above anybody. Absolute world-class performance. Really, really world-class performance by James Rodriguez. He was involved in everything. Really good bit of play in the first half as well between him and Gylfi Sigurdsson, and he played the ball through to Dom, and Dom's shot is just saved. I actually thought the Sheffield Wednesday keeper had a decent game, to be fair. Made a couple of really big saves, but again, if that had went in, it would be goal of the season. And again, it was created by James Rodriguez. He was just everywhere, absolutely everywhere. And for that, he's getting a 10. 2 assists, along with an absolute plethora of opportunities created. Like I said, if he'd have got a goal, he'd have got a 15 out of 10, because that had just topped it off massively. But he doesn't need to score goals, because you just know that everything we create, every goal we score, he's directly involved in. He mightn't have the direct assist, but he's directly involved in everything we do. And he showed that again today. If there's anybody doubting James Rodriguez's ability, I know there's no Blues watching this doubting him, because we watch him week in, week out, and look at how good he is. If there's any football fan doubting James Rodriguez's ability, go and watch him tonight. And I don't want to hear but you're playing championship opposition, because go and watch him 3 weeks ago, go and watch him before his injury, go and watch him the other day against Wolves. He's just so creative. He is he's just he's the four player, the figure of every single one of Everton's attacks, and he was that today, and he was absolutely brilliant. So James is getting a 10. Andre Gomez is getting an 8. Really, really nice assist for Dominic Calvert-Lewin's goal. Again, good play between him and Gylfi Sigurdsson. Gylfi plays him back in. Good ball across the box, and Dom's on the end of it. Solid performance by Andre Gomez today. There was a couple of times when he was a little bit frustrating, and he give a couple of fouls away, or he maybe give the ball away in silly areas, but nothing major. Again, he was quite solid on the ball, worked it well on a couple of occasions. Nick could have had a second assist just after his first one again. playing some nice balls through, and he was decent today. It was a decent performance by Andre Gomes, and again, that's his second assist now in a matter of 2 games, and a player who we all know plays on confidence. We all know Andre Gomes. We know what he can do, but when he's not confident, we know how poor he can be. And again, he just seems in recent weeks and months that he just hasn't been confident whatsoever. But that assist against Wolves would have done the world of good, and the assist tonight would have done the world of good. It was another very good ball across the box, and it was attacked brilliantly by Dom. So Andre Gomes is getting an 8 today. Gylfi Sigurdsson have given him a 7.5 as well. Worked hard throughout the entire game. Wasn't unbelievable. Didn't blow many people's skirts up, but worked really hard. Got himself in a couple of decent areas, worked his feet out well on a couple of occasions, and again made some really good combination bits of play with James Rodriguez. It's the first sort of time we've seen that Gylfi Sigurdsson and James Rodriguez partnership where they're just playing off each other and they're playing nice passes in it. There was a couple of times where I thought that's really good bit of play by the both of them there, and it deserves a goal at the end of it. And again, like I said, I thought he was really solid today, so he is getting a 7.5. Richarlison's getting an 8. I know there'll be some people frustrated with Richarlison's performance tonight, but again, look, he scored the goal, and ultimately that is what he's desperately needed for a long time now. We know how good Richarlison is, we know how good he can be, we know he's been frustrating in recent weeks, we know that he mightn't have looked as happiest in recent weeks, but that's because he hasn't been scoring, that's because he hasn't been happy with himself, because he hasn't been on the score sheet, whereas tonight, big goal, like I said, great ball in by James Rodriguez. Richarlison's on the end of it. It's a fantastic header, and again, it will give him the world of confidence. He could have had 3 or 4 today, Richarlison. He had one that was called offside, which again was just minimally offside. He had a header which went onto the bar. He had another shot which the keeper made a brilliant save with. He had another shot just after that where he was offside again. He could have had 3 or 4, and he didn't look as happy as when he left the pitch, probably because he knows that, probably because he thinks, okay, I've scored, but I want more. I could have had more today. But that goal itself, when he sits back tonight and he puts his feet up on the couch, that will do him the world of confidence ahead of Wednesday's game against Leicester. It was a really well taken header, brilliant ball in by James, and again, that's all you can ask for with Richie, isn't it? Is that he gets on the score sheet, and hopefully we now start to see him converting some of those other chances that he had tonight as well. And Dom's getting a 9 again. Same thing applies with Richarlison. Really important for Dom to get a goal today. He struggled in the last couple of weeks or so. Wouldn't say he struggled in terms of his overall play, but he struggled to get on the score sheet because of the fact that we haven't been creating as many opportunities. We've seen Everton's creativeness in full flow today with James Rodriguez playing every ball left, right and centre. Still got Luca Dean to come back into this team who we know is so creative. And Dom, obviously, he worked off that again, just like against Wolves. Andre Gomes puts a good ball into the box and Dom's on the end of it. It's a brilliant goal. And again, maybe could have had another 1 or 2, but it wasn't for Sheffield Wednesday's keeper making a couple of really good saves. But again, I thought his work rate was fantastic today. Really good shift, worked hard, won us fouls in important areas, dragged players out and scored a goal. So again, 9 out of 10 for Dominic Calvert-Lewin tonight. Onto the bench then. I've given Bernard a 7. He done all right. He got caught in possession a couple of times, which I think was sloppy towards the end of the game, but maybe he just wanted to sort of see the game out and he wasn't really interested in getting forward. He did play a really nice pass into the centre of the park just after he'd come on, and he done all right. He was all right today, so he's getting a 7. Anthony Gordon, again, very similarly getting a 7. Didn't really do an awful lot, but when he was on the ball, he played some nice passes. He was trying to. He was what he wanted the ball, which is important as well for a player like Anthony Gordon. He wasn't shying away from it. He wasn't just sort of thinking, I'll just see myself out for the next 10 or 15 minutes here. He wanted the ball. He wanted to play it. He wanted to move forward. And ultimately, again, he didn't create anything. It wasn't a masterful performance, but he won a couple of fouls and he done all right, so he's getting a 7. And then obviously young Thierry Small, Everton's youngest ever player at 16 years old, beating Jose Baxter by 15 days. I've given him an 8. As well, just because, again, to come on at 16 years of age and not look out of place in this Everton team. He didn't have an awful lot to do, obviously only 5 minutes on the pitch, and to be fair, in that 5 minutes, not a lot of balls went down that left-hand side, which was where he was playing. Got involved on a couple of occasions, made one run across the pitch as well, I think, just to try and pick the ball up, challenged the goalkeeper as well by chasing him down, and the odd touch that he had on the ball he done okay with as well. So I'm giving him an 8. And then Tyler Onyongo, I'm going to give him an 8.5. again coming on for his debut today in an Everton shirt, and he just looked in place. He really, really did. Again, like I said, Thierry Small didn't look out of place in this Everton side, but Tyler Onyango looked like he'd been playing with these lads week in, week out in the Premier League. He was coming in, he was wanting the ball, he was wanting to pick it up, he was a big dominant presence, he was confident in his passing. He made a fantastic tackle as well, where he sacked his man down, made a brilliant tackle. He gave a professional foul away, which was good in the right area as well. And he looked confident. He wanted the ball, he wanted to move it forward, he wanted to get involved, and can't ask for more from your young players. And again, like I said, he looks a real presence in that midfield, and I cannot wait to see Tyler Onyango's future at Everton Football Club, because I think he'll be a starter week in, week out in not the near future. I think within the next year or so, Tyler Onyango could be playing in the Premier League week in, week out for Everton, because he's got that confidence, he's got that stature, he's got that physicality. Maybe he needs a little bit more experience before he does, but he looked really comfortable when he come on tonight. So he is getting an 8.5. And then Carlo Ancelotti is getting a 10. Again, exactly the right game plan today. Start with your strong team, go out comfortably, win, and then bring your best players off to rest them ahead of Wednesday's game. Really comfortable performance, really assured performance. Don't think we made a fifth sub. If we have, let me know in the comments. I might have missed them out. I will give them a rating, but I don't think we made a fifth substitution. But anyway, they are my player ratings. If you have enjoyed it, please do hit that like button. Don't forget to check out the instant match reaction as well. Brilliant win for Carlo Ancelotti's Everton. Really professional performance, exactly what we wanted, and we cruise into the fifth round of the FA Cup, and we'll see who we play tomorrow after Wickham play Tottenham Hotspur. So yeah, massive thanks for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new as well, and we'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.